All right, today I'm going to talk about cultivating a success mindset. I mean, fuck a success mindset, just a bulletproof mindset, a mindset to overcome everything and anything that occupies space in your mind, whether it's fear, whether it's some kind of test, whether it's trying to achieve something, a big feat. It all comes down to these three principles. Essentially, what you want to focus on first is self-talk. Uh, One of the craziest things when it comes to how you talk to yourself is it always spirals, right? It can either spiral up and it can also spiral down. If it's spiraling down, what I mean by that is it starts off slow and then it builds up and it builds up and it builds up and it gets to a stage where you can't come back out of it. So what I mean by this is if you're hitting, say, reps in the gym and you're like, no, I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it, you eventually talk yourself into not being able to do it. So that's the idea of the spiral. And this works with procrastination. It works with like doing an actual task. If you build it up as, even if it's a long-term thing, it works with a subject. If you say, that's too hard, slowly it becomes hard. You mentally talking yourself into this uphill battle, right? And don't get me wrong, just doing the opposite, the positive spiral, isn't gonna make the actual work you have to put in any less. This is still requiring you to put in the effort, but the way this works is it will carry you with your effort to go forward. So as you're spiraling up, the main thing is to go from I'm gonna do this, see, I'm making progress, see, feeding your mind these constant positive thoughts. Doesn't have to just be this positive thought for positive sake. Just view it, just try me on this, right? Talk yourself into getting it done, and that it's so easy to get it done, and visualize it as you go along. If you're on a run, just see, if you're on a run, imagine in your mind you're you see, it's easy, it's just a few more steps around this corner. Don't think about the long term, I need to make it all the way to the end, there's another 5Ks left, or how many more Ks until I get there. Try and just be okay, see, I'm keeping a good momentum, see, I passed this person here, I must be doing something right. Keep breathing, see, this feels easy, and then slowly you build that little vortex that is like a positive spiral that will just push you forward, all via your self-talk. And that's the way you get into it. I don't like to run with headphones and stuff, but it can work if you have the similar thought process, music and lyrics wise. So if you have a track that is telling you, the easiest one is the Wind track by J-Rock. Just keep something, have some kind of trick up your sleeve that can help assist in your self-talk, and the conversation that's going on in your mind can be shifted to help you to take more steps and keep you on the right path. Because deep down you already know what you need to do. It's more a question of, how do I get myself to do those things? So one of the biggest ways to do that is the self-talk vortex. Just push it, and it may feel inauthentic at first, but do it 3 or 4 times, and then slowly if you do it wholeheartedly, you'll start to feel it become easier, because you're associating a good emotion, the good feedback with the thing that you're doing, and slowly you'll build that momentum, and then it'll make it all easy and you'll just slide through it. Right. Then the second one, the second one is self-respect. This does also tie into the vortex or the self-talk side. So this is just a greater view. It's not necessarily a short-term fix to get through, say, a test, a year of studying, and how you should be framing some of these things that you're trying to overcome. But this is an overview of yourself. This is standing up for yourself. Self-respect is a version of really just establishing yourself and boundaries. What are you willing to accept? What is correct to have around you? What's correct behaviors? What's the correct food? What's the correct sleeping pattern? What kind of people do you want? Why should people respect these things that you want? And what you want the time around you to be used for. So an example of this, the thing is, self-respect is a very easily used word, but I think it's misunderstood. I think it breaches into a lot of different topics like boundaries, like habits and so on. Like all these things we do to each other and to ourselves really also comes down to self-respect. Maybe my topic is branching more onto boundaries, but I think a good idea of self-respect is the boundaries you have around yourself. And like I said, this could be how early you go to sleep, the people around you, the things you consume, the things that other people around you consume, because that also plays a role. Do those people talk you into doing things that you don't necessarily want to do? And so on. So in that term, self-respect, the biggest facet of it, I would say, is your energy. Are you going to see people and just sit around and do nothing? You need to have this idea of self-respect. You need to respect yourself in order to achieve more and get more out of yourself. I struggled with this a lot because I always tended to prioritize friends and people that I had met in a tough social circumstance. I used to prioritize them over myself, and I still do to today. I'm still learning it, but the idea is you need to gauge your energy. You need to gauge the space around you, the time you go to sleep, the things you consume, your energy, where you put your time and energy into, where you put yourself in, the circumstances you put yourself in. Is it worth the risk of being in this kind of situation, you know? And then lastly, the final thing that will just help you, elevate is basically self-love. And it does tie to self-respect, it does tie to self-talk, but I think the self-love is mostly just being okay with who you are. This is not the boundaries, this is not the mental talk, this is acceptance. This is love and taking on a nurturing mindset to say, we need to grow. We need to get over this thing. There's a famous saying which goes, lessons in life will be repeated until the lesson is learned. So situations will keep presenting themselves until you eventually learn the lesson. So that's what you need to do is learn the lesson. Have the self-love to say, you know what, I don't want to live in this loop anymore. Be able to claim the things that you want for yourself. If you've always wanted to do something out of passion, put your foot down and start doing it, because when you start doing it, you're essentially it itself. And what I mean by that is you always wanted to be a YouTuber, say, put your foot down, start recording videos, and get out there. Like, the more you do that, the higher chance of you actually achieving something. Because really, just being a YouTuber is recording videos. That's the only thing you need to do. Record and upload, and then you're a YouTuber. That's it. If it's a runner, if you always wanted to be a professional runner, like, once you start running, you are a runner. Just the more time you spend in it, the better you can be at it. So, like, put yourself in the positions. Like, if you wanted to be, a CEO, right? I understand there's like certain routes where you need a degree, you need to go through some level of schooling, but nothing stops you from running your own business. There's people who go through the schooling system that don't end up in the job that they want. You could be studying to be, I don't know, you could be studying to go down and do your MBA eventually. You can get your MBA and you can also not be a CEO. The major point I want to make on this is, if running a business and being like the big CEO man is what you want to do, you can baby step it. You can literally start a business yourself. If you want to be the person running things or leading, don't wait for you to get all of this. Don't wait for the external thing. Have the self-love to step out of yourself and claim what you're looking for. Claim everything that you need. Like, if you feel like your career needs you to really step up and take a leadership role, start leading your life as if you were leading you, and that can only come from the self-love of taking yourself and putting yourself in that role. Visualize yourself in that role. I understand that, like, it's a bit confusing. It's a different definition of self-love. I think the idea for me is, you need to have the self-love to step up and say, I deserve that. I need to be in that position. You need to really, like, imagine if everyone's got their hand on, say, a car, and your hand has to stay on the car for you to get what you want out of life, right? So let's say you want to be a doctor. In this visualization, you put your hand on the car, and if you're the last person with their hand on the car, there's other people around, then you're a doctor. Like, I know this is a stupid example, but you need to have that self-love to say, this is what I want. I will not move. I will not budge. I will do everything to get this doctor status. And you will wait longer than everyone, and you will work harder than anyone. Maybe it's in different ways. I don't think you have to sit and like, you can work harder by not just depriving yourself of sleep. I think you can work harder by having a better plan. You can work harder by structuring your life better. Work harder by subtraction, removing all these distractions in your life. That can also have a big role. So to sum it up, 3 things: self-talk, self-respect, boundaries, and self-love. All these cars are going by and giving me looks as if, like, what is going on? But yeah, I hope that helps. I hope these 3 things are helpful to you in your journey. I hope it brings the success that you're looking for, because I really feel like there's only 3 things, and a lot of these these 3 ideas is just really looking after yourself and really caring for yourself. So I found some value in these 3 things. I think if a younger me was presented in front of me and was told these three things, I would like to hope that they were ready to accept it. Obviously, I had to learn the lessons I needed to learn to get to where I am. But yeah, the major thing is to really just go out there and get it for yourself. So yeah, I hope you achieve it.